Hello, my name is Brooklyn Frazier, and for my interdisciplinary studies capstone, I decided to blend the two important subjects that are very important to me, which is white-collar crime and business ethics. You might be thinking to yourself, those two things don't really go together, but in reality they do. In order to create an ethical work environment, we must stop white-collar criminals, and the only way to do that is to increase punishment. By increasing punishment, we will deter these criminals from committing white-collar crimes and in turn make a more ethical business environment. To stop a burglar, there are many steps one can take to ensure that they are not targeted. Locking doors, turning on lights, installing security systems. But what measures can you take to stop a white-collar criminal? This crime occurs during normal business hours. These people sit behind desks, they wear normal business attire, and they go to meetings. There is no mask, there is no tool to pick your locks, so how can they be stopped? This generation has created the age of white-collar crime. This type of crime is different than all others because businessmen and thieves go hand in hand. White-collar criminals differ from blue-collar criminals because they do all of their work behind the scenes. They don't get their hands dirty per se. They do not physically hurt anybody. White-collar criminals are smart and they use technology in order to get financial gain. Do not be fooled by their non-violent nature. White-collar criminals are just as dangerous as those who rob banks or do home invasions. In today's society, even those considered to be the most well-respected men and women in America are involved in white-collar crimes. The lack of media coverage on white-collar crime is a serious issue that causes many of these crimes to be overlooked. It is sad that many news reporters would rather report a story on a more violent crime or a murder than a crime that has costed the public thousands of dollars. The major factor is what is holding society back when prosecuting these criminals because of the lack of public knowledge. Even if white-collar crime is detected and they try to prosecute, it becomes very difficult. Those who prosecuted are given light punishments. Many cases of corporate crime or white-collar crime is punished by fines that are so small that it doesn't even make a difference in the company. The general public is not aware of these crimes, meaning that they are not aware of how much they cost us, and this is why they go undetected. Of the crimes that go detected, only few are prosecuted, and an extremely high percentage of those are punished very leniently. The vast majority of prosecutors do not have the resources, know-how, legal authority, and most importantly, the political drive to secure a corporate crime prosecution. Ethics is one of the most important topics discussed in business. Some people believe that ethics in business does not exist, that those who run businesses only make decisions that are best for the company and they are not ethical. These businesses who act in this way believe that ethics has no place in business and their decisions should only reflect the interest of their company. Other businesses take the opposite route. They believe that practicing business ethics is the only way to succeed. These companies are the companies that we need to follow. We need to be ensuring that business ethics is not something that we are talked about with HR once a year. We need to be ensured that these practices are happening every single day. There is a lower threat of recidivism and thus future harm to the community among white-collar criminals, according to the United States Sentencing Commission. That can make them more sympathetic, which often leads to higher sentences. Whether we see that in future sentences for those who have been caught up in special counsel's investigation bears watching to see if judges will give mild sentences to first-time offenders. One reason Congress created the United States Sentencing Commission is to adopt the federal sentencing guidelines to eliminate the disparity between white-collar criminals and those who commit street crimes. How much punishment should be imposed, though, remains a difficult issue. White-collar defendants can often point to a life largely free from criminal conduct and can generate letters from family and friends attesting to their generosity and good works, and that is something that is not likely to come up with the sentencing of a drug trafficker, which means that it is very hard to prosecute these criminals. But if we increase the punishment, then we deter other people from committing these white-collar crimes, which in turn makes a more ethical business environment. Thank you so much.